All right. I love, we're talking less about, pro sports and how big it is. One of the things I do love is I love youth sports. I have two boys, one that plays football. They both play football, but my little one plays 11U baseball. He's going into 12U, and I love it. I love the stories of youth sports, and we got a great one.
Yeah, we do.
This is so cool, man. I love it. Council Rock, Newtown, Bucks County is in the Little League World Series.
Yeah.
And joining us is the coach, Brad Hamilton. Brad, man, congratulations, buddy. This is awesome.
Thank you. It is better than awesome, Anthony. If you know what youth sports is about, this is the pinnacle.
I love it. I'm looking. I see the bunting in the background. Tell us, what this. Oh, look at the kids. I love this. Tell us the story of you guys and how it all began, and take us through the journey.
So you said you had a boy playing 11. So it starts young. It starts at 6 with coach pitch and all the long, boring games that you got to sit through in Northeast baseball weather. And, the core's been together for a long time, and watching them develop year after year has probably been one of the most rewarding things for me as a coach, because this, when you get into it, there's a lot of crazy coaches out there that can, run kids into the ground and all. And our philosophy was, let's just set up a good space so that these guys can be healthy 15, 16, 17-year-old baseball players. And if we do it right, fundamentals, wins will take care of themselves. So we don't really focus on the winning aspect. Don't get me wrong. When it's time to win, we're going to try our best to win, but it's not going to be at the expense of a boy.
Well, I love that too. And, sometimes we try to fast forward and we want to treat them, especially with travel ball, as you know, you want to treat them like big leaguers, where you really need to teach the game, right? You need to let them fall and foster the love of the game, and then, let their talents dictate where they can play, and let them try every position and kind of grow together. And that's what it seems like you've done at that program, where you've kind of let them, you've kind of brought them along, kind of nurtured them a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm a big believer that, you'll see us at the Little League World Series, and we may win it all and we may lose first two. It doesn't, at this point, I don't want to say it doesn't matter. It does. But what I try to do, and what I'm most proud of with my coaching staff, Kyle and Doug, is that we play everybody a minimum of 3 innings. So you'll see most of these teams are playing everybody that they want, the 9 players, and they're playing 6 innings, and there's 3 boys that sit the whole game. We kind of came into this with a real, I played all the way through Temple University baseball. So it's not about winning 12-year-old baseball games as much as what you said, Anthony. It's putting the fundamentals into their belly and saying, look, you might have won this game, but you didn't do it well, right? And that's the reminder that we've the philosophy we've developed with these boys. And I had an older son that allowed me to, I call them the OG, right? It allowed me to sort of figure this out a little bit on how I wanted to be as a coach and my mistakes with them and all. And, it's building those fundamentals that winning is an outcome of what you do in practice. But at the same time, you can lose a game and still be great and still play awesome. And sometimes you just get beat. And that's the trick of trying to tell 12-year-olds, you're okay. That was a good ground ball. You just brought in an RBI, right? Don't slam your helmet. So it's a balancing act, but I think that at the end of the day, I think the way we did it is probably the most prideful thing for me as a youth coach.
And you got to talk. We got to touch on pitching, because you also see guys just kind of ride their kids and just throw them out, and that's a big piece of it. So playing the way you play it, where all those kids play, I think it helps, and I'm sure you kind of do the same thing when it comes to pitching.
So I was a pitcher at heart, so we're built on pitching and defense. Hitting comes and goes, right? Every kid's going to have a 2-week period where life looked bad, right? So what I do with pitching is exactly that. I want these kids to be as healthy as possible. So My job is to manage and not ride one boy through. We have a boy who's our top pitcher, no doubt. And I tell the parents that we're going to compete to win when it's time to win, but it's not going to be at the expense of a particular boy, right? I have pitchers that have, higher velo, and then I have boys that I call the bridge, right? My son's one of them. He's 5'1", 75 pounds. East Region went in. I think by the time we were done the second game, he had already pitched more innings than my top two pitchers because he got in and he was effective. So we let him ride a little bit. We call him the Walt Whitman for that reason, right? So it's a way to allow me to not have to focus on one pitcher. And you know this, Anthony, growing up, right? I lost my arm when I was 12, not when I was in college. So I try to manage that and make sure they're healthy going.
That's so spot on, man. You did. You lost it young. Although all those reps, I see it. My little guy had little league elbow because he's playing little league and travel ball, and it's just a lot of baseball. So take us through your own journey. This team, what has it been like the last 2 weeks leading up to Williamsport? Oh, this is such a good story. Maybe we could get him back.
Each Region does a nice job of.
Oh, here we go.
Terms.
Nah,
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Let's see if we can get it back.
Better spot?
Yeah, this is good.
All right, I'll stay here. So East Region did a really nice job of building us up for Williamsport. They put us in dorms. It's the only region where you actually stay on the facility. And you have to leave as a team. So it was a little bit different in sections and districts. And you started to feel like, hey, something different here, right? ESPN's doing reports and stuff like that. And that's where East Region does a nice job of preparing us for this. The biggest thing is that the boys haven't been home pretty much since July 23rd because we left for states then. And we had 3 days in between. So we've actually started as coaches to check in on them just to make sure, hey, you're good? My door's here. You want to come in and talk? If you need a hug, whatever you need an extra pillow, just tell me because they're 12. And that's the juxtaposition that we're in right now, right? You have 12-year-olds living their dream, but also 12-year-olds who miss mom and dad. The journey's been great, and the boys have been awesome. But I think for me being 50 years old, it's probably worn me out more than them.
Dude, I can only imagine, bro. I can only imagine. Give us some of the kids, share some of their names so we can follow along and root for you guys.
Yep, I'll go right down my lineup. You have Dean Hamilton, who leads off. You have Braden Pfeiffer, who's my number 2 guy playing shortstop. Tyler Neild, who is a third baseman, first baseman, and pitcher. He's the one who shut it down for us at East Region. We have Sav Longo. He's my top starter. He'll probably start game 1. After that, you have a boy named Grayson Gage. He plays our outfield. After that, you have Gavin Caudill. He's a hockey player / baseball player, just a tough kid. Behind him, you have Rocco DeBronzo, probably the best name in baseball, at least at Little League. And then you have Brody Gage. His cousin Grayson's on the team, so they got a little family thing going. After that, you have Ryan Yule, who had a big double for us, bases loaded clearing double to clinch the East Region. You have Wes Steves, who's another catcher. Him and Ryan are both our catchers. They split the games 3 innings each. And then you have behind them, good morning. Behind them you have, Wes Steves, Ryan Yule, Will Siviter. I'm hoping I didn't skip anyone. Will Siviter, Tyler Wexler. And I think that's it. That should be 12.
That's awesome.
If I missed someone, I apologize. So all good kids, and they're all contributing. This is the Venezuelan team coming right behind us now.
Oh, that's cool. Look at that. That's fantastic. I love that. That's so cool. So you guys play Thursday night at 7 o'clock, right?
Thursday night, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Yep. On ESPN.
Oh, that's so cool, dude. The kids got to be like on cloud nine, man. Like being around on that stage and ESPN. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's been great. And we're trying to do all these interviews because, as you know, Anthony, it's in Philly, you guys can punch each other in the face. We can kick each other, but when one of us do well, it's amazing the outpouring of love. It is
Yes.
awesome, man. Philly and everywhere around has just been wonderful to us. So we're trying to absorb it. We're trying to let the boys have as much fun when they are outside of the baseball lines. They practice earlier in the cages. They're heading down the field for another hour and a half practice. And then when they come back, we have the parade tonight, and then we're going to let them go with their parents. But they all want to be here trading pins, playing in the rec center. They all play ping pong together, and they're having record tallies of which country's winning, beating them or not. It's just an amazing experience for 12-year-olds.
That's so great. Hey, what will be your message to them? About where they're at and before the first game. What will you tell them?
So it's been a little frustrating because we were supposed to have a practice in the main stadium, and we haven't been able to. So our first practice, I tell them to focus on us, right? Everyone's asking me how Texas is or how this team is, and if we're not doing our thing, it doesn't matter who we're playing. We're going to lose in baseball. So, my message to them consistently has been be where your feet are, which is such a cliche. It's such a little league guy cliche. However, when they're 12, to them, it's not. It's new. Everything I say is new.
That's right.
And I'll be honest with you, they've latched on to that. So I think it calms them that, hey, man, you're going to make mistakes in baseball. Coaches are going to get yelling at you. Hey, you got to blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, just look at your feet, know where you are, move on to the next play, and knock it out.
I love it. It's a beautiful message, Brad. It really is. It's a great story. You guys are fantastic. And you know how we do. Like you said it. We're rooting for you, buddy. We want you guys to win it, man.
And we're going to go after it. Our end goal. So that's why I keep telling them. We're not here to just play in the rec center. Hopefully we're here for a little bit of a stay. Taking away from the kids as adults, we know if it's not to be, they're already champions.
That's right. Amen, brother. Listen, good luck. We're rooting for you. All right, Council Rock, Newtown, Bucks County, Coach Brad Hamilton. Go get it, buddy.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Good talking to you.
Pleasure, really. What a pleasure. Great. I mean, what a great story.
Have a good one.
We all city like the mayor.